Is back into it in Chester. Here's El Senior. Yes! Yes!
The center back, Jacob Glesnes, is going for it.
Oh my God! What a goal! And that will do it! One of the best comebacks in recent years. 3 unanswered by the Union. And they go into the Gold Cup break. Winning it 3.
Hello and welcome to the Free Kick Podcast. My name is Todd. Joining me today is a one-time winner of the U.S. Open Cup, MLS Cup, and the Supporters Shield. He was voted into the 2012 MLS Best 11, and he was also the 2013 MLS Cup MVP. I would like to welcome onto the show number 78 for our Philadelphia Union, Mr. Aurelien Collin. Thanks for joining me today, Aurelien. How are you doing?
I'm great.
That is awesome to hear. And I gotta say, Aurelien, thanks for being the first Union player to join the podcast. I think that puts you in first place for my favorite Union players. But I guess to be fair to your teammates, I haven't asked any of them onto the podcast yet. But for right now, you're my favorite player.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But before we talk about a whole bunch of topics, I want to first give a shout out to Jordan Florett for getting me in contact with you. And for people who did not hear last podcast, Jordan is an author who is releasing his brand new book, Red Wine and Arepas, How Football is Becoming Venezuela's Religion. And for people unaware, Aurelien was interviewed in the book. So I want to ask you, what were your feelings when Jordan approached you for his idea about his book?
Very happy and proud because he's English. And they've been interested in Venezuela. It's an honor. I was very, very proud of what he wanted to do. So when he asked me to talk about Venezuela, talk about football in Venezuela, he talked about a footballer from Venezuela. It was, I said straight away, of course, I'm happy to talk about a country that I love.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about it too, is like when Jordan approached me about a year ago, he was like, hey man, I'd love to talk about this idea for my book. And you hear all these bad things about Venezuela, and for Jordan to just talk about the beautiful game of soccer, I was like, yeah, I'm all for it and everything. So I'm waiting for my book to come in the mail. And if we're able to go to Subaru Park this season, I would love to get you to sign the book for me since you're featured in it, Aurelien.
Yeah, anytime.
Absolutely. But anyway, let's get into the topics. And so, first off, last year was your first year with the Union. As we all know, last year was the most successful year in franchise histories. You guys set records in wins, points, goals scored, but most importantly, you guys were able to secure a first playoff win against the New York Red Bulls. And I've got to be honest with you, when the Union announced they signed you, I was really, really happy because you've won all these major trophies, like I said, in MLS. You've been a real solid defender on 3 different teams. You came into a team that was young and hungry, and I just love the fact that, you know, you're a veteran in MLS and you would be coming here to mentor the young center backs in Jack Elliott, Mark McKenzie, and Austin Trusty. So I want to know, how good did it feel to be a part of last year's team when you guys set all these different records?
Very happy, as Bedoya said, we made history, you know, the best season so far in the history of Philadelphia Union. And I was very, very privileged and honored to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And did it feel weird for you beating New York Red Bulls, one of your old teams? Or were you like, you know, this is my team now, Philadelphia Union, and what happened in the past is in the past?
Yeah, no bad feeling about any of my ex-clubs. I was very happy for Philadelphia Union, but there were no revenge, nothing. Of course, it's always special to play against your old teammate, but no bad feelings, only the best one that night, and we were the best on the field.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And that's a moment that you guys gave us fans, something that we'll never forget. And so we're really appreciative of that. But let's go into another topic. So for people that don't know, you're super into fashion. And when you were playing for Sporting Kansas City back in the day, you were studying a degree in fashion, and you actually started your own clothing line, AC78. And I got to say, after your playing career is finished, if you ever decide you want to become a coach, I think you could rival Pep Guardiola for best dressed manager in the world.
I love fashion, and agreed. If tomorrow I become a coach, I will enjoy to wear beautiful suits and to look very good. I think for me it's very important for the coach, of course, to be very physical in his way and active at training and everything. But going to a game, I wear always a suit or a blazer because it's like going to church. You want to, or going to a good date or a good restaurant. It's like a party, you know. And of course, the fashion is very important. You have to reflect very well. I think Jim Collin is very I like his suit that he wears on game day. Very slim, very European style. So very happy for the Philadelphia Union that we have a coach that dresses very well. Then after about my brand, I gave up about my brand. 6 years ago. It was when I left Kansas City. I sell everything I have, which was amazing. And then after I closed the store, and now right now I don't know if I'll be back in the fashion business.
Oh, come on, Aurelien. I mean, I've seen the way you dressed on Instagram, and I've seen some of your clothes you've designed and everything. I mean, that's top-notch quality that you've designed and everything, and you're always looking really, really sharp. So after your playing career, that's something you definitely should continue with.
Yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely. And I was going to mention Jim Curtin because, in my opinion, I think he's the best dressed coach in MLS. I mean, I might be biased since I'm a Philadelphia Union fan, but I am going to put you on the spot here. So which one of your teammates do you think dresses the best? And you can't say yourself.
My opinion, that's a good question. We have a lot of young players. So young players, not there yet. Then after I would say my captain, he played 6 years, I think, in France. So sometimes he came up with very beautiful suits. So I would say Ale Bedoya.
Ale Bedoya, okay, I like that answer. I was gonna. I've seen Jamir Montero dresses and everything, and I know he's a big sneakerhead and everything, and he posts pictures of himself on Instagram every now and then, just wearing more of a athletic look and everything. I'm like, okay, I can get down with that, but I respect your decision saying Ale Bedoya, so I will keep out my eye for any time Bedoya posts pictures of his fashion style.
Yeah, of course.
But let's go ahead and talk about this season. So you guys have 7 points so far in the league. And after your first 4 games against Dallas, against LAFC, against New York City, and Inter Miami, you guys have 6 points in the MLS is Back tournament and are moving on to the round of 16. So first off, congratulations to you and all of your teammates for that achievement. But obviously, we all know the work is not done yet. It's just a start. So I want to know, how's life been like living in the MLS bubble down in Orlando the last couple of weeks?
Life is good. We can't complain. We have restrictions, so basically we cannot leave our room apart to go to have lunch or have dinner or breakfast and to go play football. The rest of the time we're in our room and all of our teammates, we find a way to get busy, and some play video games, some read books, watch movie, play cards. And we know what we came here, and I think that's why I was talking about. The group is very positive and came here without complaining, like a lot of the MLS teams, and we're here to win. And right now, we've been very successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you spot on. And it's like I said, it's only the beginning, and I'm sure it's a lot different, not being at home and everything. And like you said, you're restricted on what you can and can't do. And I think I saw last week the Philadelphia Union posted on social media that the team went out to play golf. Did you go out and play golf with the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, some players had the opportunity to play golf. It was a morning, and no, I didn't go because it was like prioritized for the players that know how to play. I don't know how to play. I know how to play, but I'm very bad at it. So that's why other players went.
Hey, that makes sense. I was going to say, I'm not good at golf either, so I probably would have skipped out on that trip and everything because I would have been afraid that I would have injured myself. So, like you said, just let the more experienced players go out and play golf. But how tough has it been for you guys to adjust to different training schedules? And you guys have had the 9 a.m. game, and then you guys just had the 10:30 game against Miami. So how hard has that been for you guys to adjust to those different times?
Yeah, it's been complicated because sometimes playing at 9 a.m. is very hard. Especially second half when the heat comes up. And then after being playing at 10:30 p.m., the temperature is much better, but it's very, very late. It's kind of our bedtime for some of us. So, yeah, it was complicated, but Jim was very smart to make us train at 9:30 p.m. the 2 days prior to the game. So I think we adapted well.
Yeah, I think so too. Because if any fans that are listening to the podcast, if you guys didn't stay up, which you guys should have stayed up and watched that game because it was a crazy game against Inter Miami, and you would know the Union won that game 2-1, courtesy of Kai Wagner scoring his first MLS goal and Kasper Schmeichel scoring the game winner. And thank you guys for just busting your butts out and getting a tough victory against a very tough Inter Miami game. But with you guys hardly getting any of the calls that game, I guess minus the VAR taking away that Inter Miami penalty, which, by the way, I think we can all agree that was not a handball on Glesnes. How hard is it for you guys to keep a cool, calm head when just you guys aren't getting any of the calls?
The issue with refereeing the league has been in the league for years and years and years. And it's not getting better. It's sad about it. And so right now we just have to play with it. And as Jim say all the time, we have to know that it's here, and keep complaining about it is not going to change the decision. The only thing we have to do is try to not react like crazy, because if you react like crazy, the referee is going to take advantage even more to get foul against us easier. So right now we know it's here. We know it's the situation of the league. We cannot do anything about it, and we just have to live with it, and don't have as an excuse to say, yeah, referee was bad today, because he's going to be bad every game. So we have to just adapt and play with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right, and I think that's probably a reason why the referees don't really like coming to Philadelphia to referee a game, because us fans in the River End, the Sons of Ben, we're always giving it to the referees because it always seems like they're making bad calls against us. And did you guys ever get an explanation of why they never went to VAR for Kasper's goal they took away because they said he was quote unquote offsides?
Yeah, I don't know. Then after we have a lot of time, so we watch a lot of games. I watch a lot of games from Germany, England, in Spain. You see at any level, any country, there's a lot of mistakes from referees. They're human. And I don't know why sometimes they don't use VAR, because at the end of the day, it should be 99.99% of the times be a right call. I don't know why they didn't, and I don't understand. VAR should be for a lot of goals, and they didn't send back the game for the goal, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, luckily you guys were able to just find a way to really grind out a win. If Kasper would have scored that goal, you guys would have been up 2-0 at the time, but then it allowed Inter Miami to come back into the game, and they eventually scored a goal to make it 1-1 and everything. But really, if you guys would have scored a second goal, then Inter Miami would have had to have went out and attacked you guys more and everything, which would have left them susceptible on the counterattack, and you guys could have put up even more goals. But thankfully, you guys, like you said, Jim Curtin helps you guys keep a cool head and everything, and said, hey, just calm down, guys. And you guys were able to find that winner through Kasper later on in the second half. But I'm not going to lie to you, fans on social media, everybody's always like, come on, Ray, score a goal. When he shot that goal, I think shot the ball in the 92nd minute, did you guys think that he was going to be close scoring? Because Ray was pretty close, it looked like, on TV.
I don't know. I was warming up, and I don't know. I didn't see it.
Hey, that's fine. It's fine. I hope Ray gets a goal this year, because all the fans on social media really, really want to see it and everything. And congratulations to Ray Gaddis for making 200 league starts in the league. I mean, that's a great achievement in itself. But let's go ahead and get to some social media questions that fans want to know. So first off, I'm going to start with Mike Thomas, and he wants to know, how are you able to be a leader on the team, not just from an MLS veteran standpoint, but knowing so many different languages and bridging the gap between players that may not speak the same language?
I'm a believer, so my job is to serve, to help, and be the best teammate I can be. So that's what I do. And of course, with age, you mature, you react better in a hard situation. And so right now, even when I'm not playing, I just want my team to win. I want the Central Back to be very successful. So I want to do as much as I can to make them successful. The decision of a coach of be in the starting 11 or not, it's the coach decision. And at the end of the day, I play for the Union, and I want the Union to win. So that's why I try to be the best teammate I can.
Absolutely. And I mean, Yeah, I love seeing you in person, everything on the sideline when you're warming up and everything. You're speaking to your teammates, trying to position them, even though you're warming up and everything. You're encouraging your teammates. You're jumping up and down when they score and everything, or jumping up and down when Andre Blake makes a big save and everything. I mean, everybody wants that kind of teammate on their team, and that's why we're so happy when the Union re-signed you this season, because of the energy and the passion that you brought last season. And like you said, you might not start every game and everything, but you want the Union to do well. And us fans, we really, really appreciate that. But let's go ahead to the second question, which comes from Pat Andrews. He wants to know, what's your favorite French and Venezuelan dish?
The Venezuelan dish is arepa with carne molida, and a French dish, I would say raclette, like raclette. It's a dish from the mountain with cheese and potatoes and charcuterie. It's amazing.
Oh, hey, I'll definitely have to check that out and everything, because if you guys don't know, Aurelien is from Paris, I believe, over in France and everything. Yep. So he definitely knows what he's talking about when he comes to French food. So we definitely appreciate that. And he also wants to know, what's the feeling like with playing in front of no fans?
Yeah, it's weird, but I think it's weird. It's like a friendly game, or where we come from. When we were young, we were playing in front of no fans, so it kind of take us back to where we grew up, and I hope it's not gonna last a long time. But right now, we just have to live with it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you guys are definitely making the best of the situation. And here's a third question for you. This comes from Abner Ordonez. He wants to know, at what age did you know you wanted to be a professional soccer player?
I don't know.
You just knew.
No, I always wanted to play football, and I think when you really realize it can become your job and professionally one day, I'm guessing like I was a teenager, like maybe 15, 16 when I left my house to go to a soccer academy.
Yeah, definitely. When you're leaving home for the first time and everything, you're kind of on your own and everything, and you're like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is going to be my job and everything, and not think twice about it. And this next question comes from Brad Fair. He wants to know, what's your favorite MLS stadium to play in?
Well, last year we played in the playoffs against Atlanta. It was something special. After the turf was not nice, even if it's a very, very good turf. And even if it's a good turf, but not a good turf, but the atmosphere was really special.
Absolutely. And I hear a lot of players say that Atlanta is a really, really difficult environment, but it's fun because it reminds them of playing over in Europe and everything, just with the amount of fans that pack into that stadium. And so I have two more questions for you, Aurelien. This one comes from Jarrett Nisley. He wants to know, what about this Union team is different from every other team that you've been on?
Would you repeat the question, please?
Jarrett wants to know, what about this team, meaning Philadelphia Union, is different than being on any of the other teams you've been on?
Different, I don't know. Red Bull, I think Philadelphia is really going the Red Bull way. And so the last year in Red Bull, it was very similar than the Union. So after this like way of having some veteran player and bringing a lot of very young players, it's a good mix. And it's a direction that Philadelphia Union wants to go with. So I think it's then after this alchemy, this philosophy goes very well right now. In the last year, the young players from last year, they get more mature and better this year. So I think the direction we're going is great.
Yeah, absolutely. We can all see you guys just keep going into a better and better direction. And all started last year with you, really. And when you signed with the Union, like I said, I mean, we set all different records. So I'm sure you probably don't want to take all the credit, but I'm sure you did have something to say about that, just your veteran leadership in the team. But we have two more questions for you. This next question comes from Ed Fagan. He wants to know, do you remember when you played for Sporting Kansas City? Do you remember the hit that Connor Casey put on you?
No, I don't.
Nah, I don't remember that either when he said that. So, and then this last one comes from Adam Booth, who's with the Sons of Ben. He said, "Tell Aurelien what's up."
Yeah. I say, what's up back?
All right, I'm sure Adam's listening, but thank you so much, Aurelien, for your time and everything. I'm super excited that Jordan was able to get us in contact and everything, and I had a blast just asking you some questions and hearing your thoughts back and everything, and good luck to you and the Union the rest of the way for this tournament, and hopefully you guys can get another 3 points against Orlando City.
Thank you very much.
All right, you guys enjoy it down there and stay safe.
Take care.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoy that interview with Aurelien Collin. I really appreciate him taking time out of his day to come on and speak with me and just answer some of my questions, answer your guys, the listeners' questions. And I'm just super appreciative that, it's crazy times down in Florida. They're on a strict schedule and everything. And he was able to take 25 minutes out of his day to come on and speak and everything. Like I said in the interview, the first Union player I've had on the podcast, and hopefully it won't be the last. And hopefully he enjoyed himself and everything. Hopefully I didn't ask too difficult questions and everything, but like I said, I'm super, super appreciative of him coming onto the podcast. And I just want to go ahead and just talk about a couple things real quick. One, MLS, they announced that Jose Martinez will be suspended for 1 game because of violent conduct against Inter Miami's Andres Reyes. That happened in the 40th minute. And they said, we're just trying to protect the players of this league and everything. And so you should have got a red card at the time, and you did not. And so we're going to give you a 1-game suspension like it is a red card that you got in the game. And that just means that Warren Krival is probably going to get the start. I know a lot of people, probably myself included, want to see Matai Orvats get the start and everything, but let's be honest. Warren, he has the experience and everything. He's always got the call of when Brujo's had to come out and everything because he's had 2 yellow cards in back-to-back games. And as much as, we all want to see Sexy Season, as much as we want to see him make an impact and everything, Jim Curtin said, he's just not up there yet in fitness levels. He's not caught up to the game plan, how we want to play and everything, but he'll get his chance and everything, and I fully believe Jim and everything, and I'm fine with Warren Krival. He's experienced in MLS. He's maybe not going to be as fast as a Brujo is, but for 1 game, it's not a bad option to have and everything, and we've already qualified for the round of 16, like we all know, in the Inter Miami game, and I'm pretty sure I said that in the interview, and I congratulated Aurelien and his teammates. But, I see a lot of people say, let's start the backup players against Orlando City. Let's start all these people because it doesn't matter. And it actually does, because remember, the 3 group stage games, those count towards the regular season. And we want to get as many points as we can towards the regular season as possible. And so, we've secured a spot in the round of 16 and everything, but the job's not finished yet, and that's what I said to Aurelien, and him and his teammates know that. Jim Curtin knows that. The job's just beginning and everything, and hopefully the Union can go again against Orlando City and get all 3 points and finish in first place, and they'll just add more points to their tally in the regular season, because right now, as things stand, they have 7 points in 4 games, and they had a tough schedule so far, and they're making the most of it. They're on back-to-back game win streak, and hopefully they can be on a 3-game win streak once they beat Orlando City. And one thing now that I'm thinking about, sorry, Jarrett, is I should have asked Aurelien to come on to the Zoom happy hour this Friday. I'll text him and whatnot and be like, hey, come on, and hopefully he'll come on. But no promises. I'll try my best. You know that. But I just want to talk about the Inter Miami game. I wanted to get into it a little bit with Aurelien, but he's on a tight schedule. I had a meeting to go to right after this with the rest of the players. So, like I said, I'm just super grateful for him taking time out of his day to just speak to me for about 25 minutes. And I would love to have him back on the podcast, and hopefully he would feel welcome to come back onto the podcast. And maybe if I'm lucky, he'll spread the word to his teammates. I can only wish, right? But I just want to talk about that Inter Miami game. I thought, like Aurelien said, the referees get worse and worse and worse. And Jim tells the guys, don't say anything, because now you're really not going to get any calls. And it's definitely tough to keep a level head on your shoulders when you're getting constantly call after call and call against you, or not getting a call that you thought you should have got. I thought Andres Reyes should have seen at least a yellow card during this game. When he stepped on Kasper Schmelke, he got a red card. When he pulled down Kasper when it was going on a one-on-one and everything, which was the right decision, just way too late into the game that he got that red card. I really don't want to blame the referees. I told you guys that last episode. And I think Aurelien could teach us all something. The more and more we complain, the less and less calls we're going to get. So that's something, when I go to games, I should try to work on, not yelling at the referees. And I think we could all take a page out of Aurelien's book and, maybe be nicer to the referees. I think Jimmy Conrad, when he joined the Zoom happy hour, he's like, if you guys can all dress up as referees, if you guys can cheer every single call the referee makes, good or bad, he's like, I will come to a game with you guys. I will sit in the river and I guarantee you guys that moment will go viral if you guys just applaud every single decision the referee makes. And who knows, maybe they'll start giving you guys calls in the future. And I don't know. I mean, I thought that was a great idea that Jimmy Conrad gave us about a month ago when he joined the Zoom happy hour. But going back to this Inter Miami game, I was happy that Casper finally got his goal and everything. I know he's put the ball in the back of the net a couple of times, but he's been called off sides, especially in this game. I thought Brenden Aaronson played a great ball into Casper for what looked like to be Casper's first goal, and then they said off sides. I don't agree with the call. But again, let's all take a note out of Aurelien's book, and let's not argue back with the refs. Let's be respectful, right? And maybe calls will finally start going our way. Maybe. But Casper did well to not let that offsides call go to his head. He's like, I'll get another chance. And I think he said that in his after-game interview where he said, we're good at creating chances, and I always knew we would get another one, and it's my job basically as a striker to tuck the chance away, and that was a beautiful counterattack that the Union had. It started with Jamiro Monteiro using two dummies. He did not touch the ball at all. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful play by Jamiro. I'm sure by now you guys have seen that play probably 100 times. I know I have. I mean, I've seen it so many times on social media, on Reddit. It's a great play, and only if you can get an assist for not touching the ball, because Jamiro Monteiro definitely deserves an assist for that play. Brenden Aaronson, he's going to be gone soon. I think we can all appreciate that, and I said it last episode that it's going to suck when we lose Mark McKenzie and Brenden Aaronson, but that means that the academy is working, that we're doing a good job developing these young players, and hopefully, we can invest that money back into the academy once we sell McKenzie and Aaronson, and I know we all want that money to go back into a big DP signing, but honestly, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's the way that this team operates. I think we'll see more signings like Sergio Santos, Orvats, money that's not spent like a DP, but a good amount of money for any team to spend. I think that money will go back into the academy so we can find the next Brenden Aaronson, so we can go and scout all over this country, all over the world to say, hey, look, we got this top-notch academy where we've sent two of our top players to play in Europe. You can be next. And if the Union can get on board like that, kind of like Ajax are doing over in the Netherlands, hey, I'm all for it and everything. I'm not against that. And I think a lot of fans wouldn't be against that too, as long as, we keep developing these players, if we keep getting a good transfer fee. Because let's be honest, I would love to get $10 million for Brenden Aaronson, $5 million for Mark McKenzie, like I said a couple of episodes ago, but it's not going to happen. We know that. That's just a crazy transfer fee to think about. Well, the way it's going to work is we'll get a couple million and everything, and then I'm sure the Union are going to put on a sell-on clause, because Brenden Aaronson and Mark McKenzie, once they get sold to Europe, I've got to imagine that's not the team that they get sold to in Europe. I got to imagine that won't be their only club that they'll play for in Europe and everything. So don't be surprised when the Union decide to sell them that there's a sell-on clause included in their deal and everything. So we'll probably get mad at the time and say, oh, Aaronson's only going for $3 million. Like, oh, he should easily go for $5 to $7 million. But they're going to add a sell-on clause. I can guarantee it for both of those players and everything, because especially if Mark McKenzie goes to Celtic, they buy a lot of young center backs and they eventually get sold to bigger clubs and everything. And, that would probably be the same thing that would happen to Mark McKenzie if he does indeed go to Celtic. But again, Brenden Aaronson's just what a player he is. He's definitely added on more muscle. We know last season he loves the press and everything, and gets himself in good positions and everything. And it was always about that final ball, and can he finish? And he finished well against LAFC earlier in the season. He's played some really, really, really good killer passes into the strikers. He hustled so well. I thought that ball was out of bounds when hit the ball in and the ball fell to Kai Wagner. I mean, shout out to Brendan Aronson for not giving up on the play. I mean, let's take it back a step and everything and give it a shout out to Ray Gaddis. He's the one who found Brendan Aronson down the channel. Ali Bedoya, I believe, passed the Ray and everything, and he's like, "Oh, I see you, Brendan. I see the run you're making," and slots Brendan in. Brendan uses speed and acceleration and his agility to his advantage, and does a really, really good job keeping that ball in play and everything. And it bounces his way into the 18, and eventually Kai Wagner is running onto the ball. Hits a beautiful ball for his first goal, like I said, in MLS, and hopefully Ray Gaddis, he came close, and I just, I don't have to say much about Ray, you guys know how Ray's treated on social media. If Ray scores, we riot. I thought he came close against Inter, and I would love for that goal to come against Orlando City. I would just love for that goal just to come in general. I mean, if Ray's going to score a goal, I can guarantee you that it's going to come in the knockout stages where it's not going to count towards his MLS stats and everything. But hey, a goal's a goal, right? So, Ray, we believe in you. We think that you're going to get that goal sometime soon, and I know not all of us believe that, but most of us we're cheering you on, Ray. I thought Andre Blake had another big game. He made a couple of really good saves. That goal by Pizarro, there was nothing that Andre Blake could do on that. I thought Mark McKenzie could have done a little bit better there, followed his man and everything, but Pizarro just tucked in and everything and got free and everything. And I believe Mark did get a foot on the ball, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately. And they were able to capitalize on that. And like I said, with Aurelien, if the Union could have scored that goal, if that wasn't offsides called on Casper, the Union would have been up 2-0. Then they could have hit into Miami and more counterattacks, because then they would have been forced to attack more and everything and really not sit back and absorb the pressure and everything. But, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. The Union did get their goal, and they wind up winning this game 2-1. And I don't know about you guys, but the way that Inter Miami played this game, I thought that, there's a team, they've not been in MLS for that long, only 4 games, and I already can't stand them. Pizarro going over to the bench, mocking them with his celebration, like, "Oh, look what I just did," and like, I guess he did like stretch his face or whatever, and he tried. I don't know. I don't know what he tried to do. It was weird. He put his 2 fingers in his mouth and spread his cheeks. That sounds wrong. Spread his mouth cheeks. Does that sound any better? I don't know. And I was like, "Oh, look what I just did. I scored, and yeah, congrats for you." Like, yeah, you're a good player, but it didn't matter. Didn't matter, bud. And that's what I love, when these players get so cocky and everything. They celebrate like they just won the World Cup or something, like, "Oh, that's great," and everything, but didn't do anything for your team. Yeah, you guys scored in back-to-back games, but the Union, the better team, keeping that cool, calm, collected head on their shoulders, were able to see out the victory and everything. Mark McKenzie, other than, I guess, not following Pizarro on that goal, thought he was excellent this game. Again, you can see why he's linked to European teams. Just smart center back. He's a smart defender. And I'm super excited we have a player like Mark McKenzie. I thought Jacob Glesnes, Jack Elliott, that could have been a toss-up to start either one of them. And we saw Jack Elliott come into the game a little bit later, looked fine and everything when the Union were just trying to shut things down. That call, like I said, with Collin, that handball call on Glesnes, I think that was a BS call. Happy that VAR, they reviewed that and said, "Yep, no penalties, nothing you could have done about it." But just a really, really solid game and everything. I'm happy with the team played and everything. And that's kind of my thoughts and everything. I'm sure I could have given you guys a lot more thoughts and everything. And probably what I said and everything is what a lot of you guys are thinking anyway. And super tired, still feeling the effects from staying up super late at night, not going to bed until 1 o'clock. I know a lot of you guys went down to Subaru Park or the Larimer to watch this game, and I'm sure you guys weren't getting home until 1:30, 2 o'clock, and some of you guys probably did go to work and everything, and you guys are still feeling the effects like I am, but just really, really happy with the way that the Union are playing again. Super excited that Collin was able to spend some time with me and answer my questions, and hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. And if you guys, I probably should have said this with Collin and everything, but if you guys aren't following my podcast, the Free Kick Podcast, at least go ahead and follow the podcast at Free Kick Pod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Go ahead and find the Facebook page. Go ahead and find the website by searching thefreekick.com. And like I said, I probably should have had Aurelien plug his social media. But if you guys aren't following him, go ahead and follow him on Instagram and Twitter at Aurelien Collin 78. And I really hope Aurelien starts his fashion line and everything, because that guy knows how to dress, like I said. And that would be really, really cool. You know, if he spends another season in Philadelphia, he's like, okay, well, this is my third season in Philadelphia. Let me go ahead and start up this company again. And then we can all start dressing really, really cool, like Aurelien Collin, if you're into that. But don't forget, we're doing the Philadelphia Union giveaway. You have until August 9th to follow these ways of entering it. One, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Search The Free Kick, Todd Lewis. Show a screenshot of your review. That gives you 2 entries. Tag a friend on the post. That's another entry. And then retweet this post, and you get another entry there. A maximum of 4 entries per person. The winner has 24 hours to claim his or her prize after the drawing. If the 24 hours pass without the winner claiming the prize, then we'll draw a new winner. To be eligible for the jersey, you have to be following the Twitter account at FreeKickPod. Like I said, the giveaway runs from July 9th through August 9th. And thank you so much for everybody that has taken time to fill out this giveaway and follow the page on Twitter. Leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, because, guys, like I said, I just want to give back to you guys and everything, do more things where I can give you guys jerseys, whatever you guys may or may not want, and hopefully get more and more Union players on here, and the sky's the limit. Who knows what's in store in the future and everything, but having a blast doing this podcast and everything. I thank you guys so much for, I say this all the time, taking time out of your day, listening to the podcast, because, you know, we all have crazy lives, especially this time, this crazy times that we're living in, and it means a lot, you know, that you guys listen to me for about 40 minutes a day and just have a blast giving my thoughts on the Union. And sometimes I know I ramble, but that's pretty much it for me and everything. Again, for the 100th time, thank you so much, Aurelien Collin, for joining the podcast. Had a blast talking to you, and you're more than welcome to come on whenever. But with that said, my name is Todd, and this is the Free Kick Podcast.